welcome to Outside Xbox, which is the channel that you're watching, and this is Show of the Week. Also, I'm Jane.
Also, I'm Mike. Show of the Week returns after a week off that we spent in Germany at video games Uber convention Gamescom. I can't believe it's over already.
And all we have left are our memories.
And this souvenir pretzel.
Oh my god, I thought we ate them all.
There was one left.
Give it.
No.
Pretzel.
No.
Okay, fine. So what else have you been doing this week apart from withholding secret pretzels?
I've been pretty much tied up with this, actually.
I see.
But did you know that Life is Strange Before the Storm came out this week?
Did I? I did, yes.
Oh, good. You're here. Chloe Price. Rachel Amber.
So Jane, Life is Strange Before the Storm, what is?
It is a mini-series prequel to Life is Strange, which you will remember was an episodic puzzle adventure game.
Yes.
So this is set before the storm, which
Right.
happens in Life is Strange.
Okay.
Spoiler. You play as Chloe.
My dad's gone. My best friend has left me.
Who was not the main character in Life is Strange, but
Right.
was the best friend character in the original game.
Smell like cigarettes and beer. Better change clothes.
So you're not like a time-traveling superhero anymore?
No time travel. The developers have been like, no, it's not a game about time travel. This will still have puzzles, but that will not be your power as Chloe.
But I thought the point was that you go back to all the awkward moments from high school and fix them, which is something I desperately wish that I could do.
Is that your understanding of Life is Strange?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like a teen sex comedy where you time travel
Yeah.
back in time and undo all your terrible mistakes.
Hey! Max? Chloe?
Exactly.
That is not what
exactly like
happens in
my
Life
high
is-
school
That is
days.
very different from the experience of Life is Strange, which is heartbreaking and poignant and full of tragedy.
But you can- when you say
and the
something-
terrible consequences of meddling with time travel.
But when you say something mean, you can go back and take it back if it's really mean though, right?
I mean, you can rewind time, yes.
I discovered I could reverse time.
In Life is Strange Before the Storm, you play as Chloe, who does not have magic time travel rewinding powers.
Right.
She just has the power of being a teenage badass rebel.
Right. Is she like smoking around the back of the bike sheds and stuff?
That's her kind of bag, yeah.
Okay, so you holding?
Does she have
That's
cool
on brand
punk
for Chloe.
clothing?
I think the story arc is going to be her finding her punk cool.
Okay.
Because by the time Life is Strange happens, she's this badass, she's got the manic panic like coloured hair,
Yeah.
and she's everything that Max isn't. She's like, you know, kind of cocky and rebellious.
Let's dance! Or take my picture with your new camera. Come on, rock out, girl!
Okay.
And I think as you meet her in Life is Strange Before the Storm, she has yet to have her kind of girl crush moment where she meets her iconic best friend that changes everything about her, and that is Rachel.
Okay.
Hey, dickhead! Last night was amazing. Come on, hurry up!
Who is not in Life is Strange, but is in Life is Strange Before the Storm. So again, it's kind of like a girl buddy drama.
Okay.
Only instead of being Max and Chloe, it's Chloe and Rachel.
Sometimes, when you meet someone who's going to change your life, you just know it.
Does Max have the time-traveling powers yet in the prequel?
Max isn't in the prequel.
Okay, not
Because
at all.
she's not in town. No. The Life is Strange begins with Max
Okay.
kind of coming back to her hometown
I
and
see.
re-engaging with Chloe, who she knows from way back, and like reforging that friendship. This is about a different friendship that is very influential and formative for Chloe.
Right.
So Rachel is this kind of unicorn who's really
She's
cool.
a unicorn?
It's a figurative
Jeez.
unicorn.
This blows
Don't
my mind.
get excited.
Oh.
Rachel? Come on!
She's really cool, she's popular, she's good at school, but she's also kind of like cool and rebellious and has like this kind of
Again,
dark side.
So much like my high school days.
That girl. Was that really Rachel Amber?
But you know, there was someone at school who was like much cooler than you, and you sort of
Yeah.
sought to emulate them, and
Many,
you wanted
many
to be
people.
their friend and like maybe wear their skin, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
I'd have settled for just not having my backpack thrown on the roof. That would have been good.
Oh, that's Mike's high school experience.
I would have settled for keeping
Life
my
is
lunch
strange
money.
before the backpack on the roof.
Finally, David's waiting. You'll need to bring him his keys from the ashtray. Try not to kill each other.
If I've not played Life is Strange, which
Yep.
transparently I haven't, because I thought there were unicorns in it,
Right.
am I going to get anything out of this prequel mini-series thing, or should I just go and play the first one?
Well, given that it is episodic, so only the first episode is out now, right? It is kind of hard to say. I would be really interested to talk to, like, say you were to play it, I would be really interested to know what you get out of it and how much of it you understand, and maybe you would come at the story in a completely different way.
No point in putting off the inevitable torture of driving to school with David.
I would be really interested if you do wind up playing every episode of Life is Strange Before the Storm. Having not played the original game, I would be fascinated to know what you get out of it.
Any letter from Blackwell is never good.
It does seem very much tailored for people who played and enjoyed the first game. It almost seems like fan service?
What the hell?
Next time, mind your own business. Calm down.
In a way, in that Rachel is a character who is very important but does not really appear in Life is Strange without, spoiling anything. So the idea that she is introduced as a character in Before the Storm felt like, oh, maybe this is what some of the fans want. They want to meet this really important character.
Yeah.
If you came to it as someone who doesn't know these characters, I would be really interested. Like, you're meeting Chloe not as she is, but as she used to be.
Yeah.
Great. It's a pile of trash. Yeah. An awesome pile of trash.
Who's the Life is Strange character who's most representative of your high school experience?
Oh boy.
That question is so cruel.
It is really
Is it?
cruel, given all the characters in
Are
Life
they all
is
dreadful
Strange.
people?
So, a lot of them are quite dreadful. They're all tragic people. Even
okay.
the dreadful ones are sort of tragic in their own way. Luke's played Life is Strange. He knows.
Which teen girl are you,
Which
Luke?
one am I? I mean, I'd like to say Chloe, but maybe Max at a push. Probably like one of the ones in the background. Or,
Oh, not even part of the story.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe optional dialogue.
I'd
That's me.
probably be like the bookish religious one, but less religious. Like the, what's her name?
Kate.
By the way, Max, do you still have my copy of the October Country?
I can't really identify. I would like, again, I'd like to be Chloe, but I'm probably Max.
Oh, yes, of course. It's great so far. I didn't realize Bradbury was such a poet.
Brutal question. You don't know how
Good
brutal-
question, yeah,
You don't
yeah.
Know, you don't know how harsh that question is.
Yeah.
It's me with the
Laser-guided
hard-hitting questions,
journalistic
completely by
instincts.
accident.
Honed in on the hard question. Yeah.
A nose for news.
What a piece of crap. The car, too.
Is it going to play substantially differently because of the lack of the time travel thing? Is it going to feel like a different game?
Well, there's not going to be a time rewind mechanic. Chloe's power, as it were, is to be a troublemaker.
You know what a spark plug does?
Yes.
It ignites
Did you not hear me? I said I know what it does.
To do things that will, that are against the law, against the rules.
Shit! No, 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 no! Come on!
Possibly will, at a later stage, get her into trouble. So there is that kind of Walking Dead, like, so-and-so will remember this, or you've stolen this, or you've taken this money, or you've kept this, and that may have an influence on events further down the road. So there is still that the decisions you make now may have a short-term impact and a long-term repercussion.
Holy shit! I'm rich.
That will play out in a similar way.
It's less good than time control.
Yeah, I wonder if the puzzles will be less exotic, and maybe they'll lean more into the characters in the story because it's not going to be so kind of out there sci-fi.
Your mother. She's hurting, Chloe.
You're not my father.
Oh, and also she's got the power of graffiti.
Graffiti everywhere. I think they missed a spot.
Wow!
So she can go and like tag stuff in the world. And
Do you have to manually tag it, like in
you
the Warriors
don't
game?
manually tag it. That would be amazing. But then you could draw whatever like rude thing you wanted in the game.
Jane, I would never.
Mike's already gone
I would
right there.
absolutely.
But no, you do choose what you want. It gives you an option. Like, do you want to tag it with this or with this?
Sit and spit.
So you get to choose what your
There better be my option in
graffito
there.
is. Mike's motif. Yeah.
It is my tag, yeah, it's known,
Yeah.
known all over town. I'm real. I've got so much street credibility.
It's just a badass teenage rebel that is Mike Channel. The other thing about Life is Strange Before the Storm is how much it reminds me of my teenage years as a badass teenage rebel. What?
You?
Yeah. Me. I was a rebel.
You were in the Model UN.
I was a very belligerent Switzerland.
And the Computer Club.
I was stealing computers.
And the Girl Guides.
I was stealing cookies.
What is it with you and stealing snacks?
I don't know.
Look, Andy, the thing about me stealing snacks is to forget about me stealing snacks, and instead let's remember the heroic teenage girls who, like Rachel Amber to Chloe Price in Life is Strange Before the Storm, inspire us to greatness. Or if not to greatness, then to a better quality of troublemaking.
Let's do something fun.
So if you are shopping around for a sassy role model who is brimful of moxie, Andy, and I know you are, then you could do a lot worse than these badasses.
A train.
You know, when there's a kid in your class at school who's younger than everyone else because they're a genius and they've been skipped ahead a year? Well, that's Rebecca Chambers of Resident Evil, only instead of being the youngest kid in class, she's the youngest member of the Raccoon City Police Department's Special Tactics and Rescue Service.
This is Officer Chambers from STARS Bravo team. Please identify yourself.
And instead of being skipped ahead 1 year, Rebecca graduated with a degree in biochemistry when she was 18 years old, the age at which the rest of us are still wearing those giant jeans and trying to come up with a better band name than Sadsplosion. That's a pretty inspiring achievement even before Rebecca survives a helicopter crash, a train wreck, and speaking of train wrecks, this conversation with alleged bad boy Billy Cohen.
Been fantasizing about me, have you?
Never mind that though, because teamwork makes the dream work, and by combining Rebecca's courage, smarts, and medical skills with Billy's slow motion shoot diving and cool tribal tattoos, they make it out of Resident Evil prequel Resident Evil 0 in one piece.
Hurry!
At which point Becky C has a rare lapse of judgment when she decides to investigate the spooky mansion and become a bit part character in Resident Evil 1.
That must be the old mansion that Enrico was talking about.
Instead of making like her erstwhile partner Billy and getting the heck out of there. He probably ran out of tattoo care cream.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Speaking of youthful overachievers, don't be fooled by the poise of Final Fantasy VIII's Academy instructor, Quistis Treep. She is also a mere 18 years old and already responsible for the training of various students at Barlam Garden. This makes her only a single year older than her pupil and Final Fantasy VIII protagonist, Squall Leonhardt, though the age gap is exaggerated by how he has the emotional maturity of a kindergartner. That's a detention right there, Squall. See me after class. Not only is teenage whip owner Quistis sprinting along the career track towards the eventual role of Academy headmaster, she became a seed at the tender age of 15, which is to say she qualified to be a child mercenary before the rest of us were qualified to drive. And even as I say the phrase child mercenary, I know that doesn't sound like a good thing, but they do get good uniforms. So, hooray?
Kid, you're lucky I don't hit girls.
Me neither. But for you, I'd make an exception.
Enough!
If, on the other hand, you're looking for a source of inspiration with less icy composure and more explosions, may I recommend Demolitions expert Tiny Tina. The unhinged but highly adept explosives enthusiast who was orphaned in the tundra wasteland of Borderlands 2 and went on to survive and thrive long after you or I would have died of exposure.
I bet your mommy and daddy screamed as they died.
Tina is a plucky orphan kid with attitude, much like Orphan Annie, but if Orphan Annie was sworn to avenge her birth parents by electrocuting the slave trader responsible for their deaths. What's more, Tina's skills extend much further than just planning tea parties and building electric chairs. She's also a dab hand at dungeon mastering in tabletop role-playing games.
Roll for initiative, suckers!
And you know, she writes her own poetry. She's got a lot going on, is what I'm saying.
Bring it down! Kill Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack! Kill Jack. A poem by Tiny Tina.
If post-apocalyptic zombie parable The Last of Us taught us anything, it's that the key to survival is adaptability, and also having a knife that doesn't crap out on you after you've used it to stab a baddie like one time. Yes, our girl Ellie has what it takes to get by in the nightmare that is fungal Zombieland. She has a grizzled co-survivor, a switchblade that is infinitely durable compared to Joel's disposable shivs, and the aptitude to learn new skills as she goes.
I got this.
As long as the new skill isn't swimming, because forget that noise, who knows what's in the water. In you get, Joel, you better float me around on this.
Be careful.
I got you.
If you drown, I call your stuff.
Easy. I need access to the National Criminal Database.
In Arkham Origins, Barbara Gordon is everything I personally aspired to at age 15, which is to say, she's a super cool hacker whose father lets her dye her hair bright red.
The system is broken.
Barbara, wait.
Or maybe it's her natural colour, but what I'm saying is if you hadn't confiscated my tub of vampire red manic panic, I would definitely be Batgirl by now, Dad.
Why do you do what you do?
Because I made a promise.
Setting that aside for now, we can see how Barbara Gordon, who will go on to become Batgirl and later Oracle, exhibits her early superheroic tendencies here in prequel Arkham Origins. She's got a photographic memory, computer skills she didn't pick up in a school computer lab, and is fluent in hacker speak to the point where she can say cool pwnbox with a straight face.
Cool pwnbox.
Not only that, teenage Barbara helps Batman illegally hack the National Criminal Database in the same way you'd help your granddad get into his Hotmail account.
But you'll need to physically bridge the intranet to the external telecom wires if you want to uplink remotely.
This kind of knowledge could get a young girl into a lot of trouble.
It is possible the Gotham City Police Department shouldn't let a teenage hacker hang out in the GCPD server room, but then again, how can they hope to keep her out with weak passwords like these?
Now it's time to see what's written in the comments and on this pretzel I've been saving since Gamescom. Where's my pretzel?
Oh, Mike has it.
This will not stand.
Okay, but can it stand for a bit while we look at the comments on this video about the little ways in which games used to be worse?
I don't know what it was in the 80s and 90s, but for some reason everyone was obsessed with water levels despite them being the second worst kind of level you can put in a video game, right behind sewer.
Some other great suggestions for ways in which games of the past made us suffer, such as this from Andy McPhee, who says, how about being the younger brother so all the single-player games of my childhood were more like really long movies?
With terrible dialogue. Commenter Goosey, meanwhile, would like to add, not really the games themselves, but when I was growing up, game controllers were terrible compared to today. Performing combos in Mortal Kombat on my SNES felt like trying to thread a needle with my toes.
Against which commenter insert clever name answers, no idea what you're talking about. Old games and controllers were great, and I've got the scars and permanent nerve damage on the side of my thumbs to prove it. This lousy Xbox hasn't made my hands bleed once.
And if it did, at least you would be dexterous enough to stitch them back up again with your toes.
Valuable life skills.
Yeah. Finally this week, your comments on this Hitman contract in which we had to exterminate some exterminators and Mike got to do the laziest Hitman kill of all time.
That's the guy, that's my man, isn't it?
That's the guy.
Shall I go for it?
Leap of faith.
You try it.
Shoot with faith. Yes? What?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Nice.
Oh my god, that was so easy.
So straightforward.
Oh my god.
Some justified outrage in the comments, such as this from Nathan Weeks, who says, these contracts are getting a little too easy. What's next? Shoot the room service staff after they've brought lunch, then not tip them?
I think at that point, not being tipped is like the least of their worries.
And as commenter Joy Fetters notes, is it just me or does Mike have really weird luck with guns?
Oh, you mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, my last opportunity to shoot him in the spine.
Not getting with a pistol from... Oh,
No way!
Jesus Christ. Are you serious?
Oh.
I am incredible.
And commenter The Alien from Outer Earth says, I love how people in stealth games like this detect people. Hey Frank, did you see that guy? Not for longer than 4 seconds. Oh, then he's probably fine.
Was that Ellen?
Impossible to tell.
That's probably nothing then.
Yeah, back to our preset patrol patterns.
You know it.
Yeah, patrol. That's it for Show of the Week. Thank you for watching. Before you go, I'd like to share, I learned last week in Germany that the German for like button is gefällt mir noch. So why not gefällt all you got?
That is
press the like
terrible.
button.
That is terrible.
What are you talking about? I anticipate a massive influx of German-speaking viewers.
Sure. Thanks for watching.
sorry.
We'll see you next time. Okay, I've come up with a solution. We split the pretzel 3 ways, then we each have a pretzel.
No, this isn't a pretzel.
Yeah, the whole point of a pretzel is the shape, Mike. It's supposed to be a knot.
This is just like a bread thing.
Maybe
Tube of bread.
Still tastes the same.
Tie it back into a knot. Oh, it's all crumbling.
It doesn't work. It's
doesn't
not.
have the
It's
integrity
holding
to
up
be
structurally.
retied.
All right, everyone back to Germany.